good afternoon, good morning, and good afternoon, says these two. Hey! Anyway, welcome back to It's Naturally Nat. Hey, knock it off. Today we're going to be making something quite yummy and sweet. And it's something that you can, stop that. Something that you can make at home and save some money and use as gifts to give out to people too. And that is chocolate syrup. A lot of times when we think of chocolate syrup, we think of the old standards you get from the shelf at the grocery store, namely something like this, right? And this is good. It's been around for a million years, but this is more than just chocolate. Check this out. When I read the back of it, high fructose corn syrup is the first ingredient, not chocolate. Then it says cocoa. It says potassium sorbate, not good. Salt, xanthan gum, mono and diglycerides, polysorbate 60. Vanillin, artificial flavor, and trace amounts of fat. Now, for something that a lot of people love, especially in the summer, but all year round, on ice cream, chocolate syrup, that's a lot of not very good things to have in a product. But I'm going to teach you a real easy chocolate syrup that you can make today with only 4 ingredients. And that is sugar, cocoa powder, vanilla, well I lied, more than 4, salt, and water. And that's all you need to make this dish, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. And I'll give you the ingredients as I go and the steps as I go, and I'll try to remember to put them down in the comment section like I always do later. So what we're going to need here is 1 cup sugar, and we're going to put it in not a mixing bowl but a pot, right? So 1 cup sugar. Then we're going to need half a cup of cocoa. Now the kind of cocoa you use, that doesn't really matter. Sometimes I buy a fancy brand if it's on sale. Sometimes I just buy the standard. Sometimes I buy the no name. And this one is kind of a fancy one, but only because it was on sale. Okay? Put that in the skillet. Then the next thing we're going to do is take our whisk and give it a stir. So really what you're doing, because you haven't added any liquid yet, is you're just making sure that the cocoa, right, the cocoa is kind of sometimes in little chunks. That's just the way cocoa is. You know that already if you make brownies. But just so it's kind of worked in kind of nicely already with the sugar. So you're like this. That's probably good enough. Okay? The next thing you want to do is you want to get it in there and give it about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. The salt just brings out everything in it, makes it taste good. And I forgot to grab my measuring cup, but some water. So let me grab that. And I believe we want pretty cold water. And we want 1/2 cup. Half a cup of cold water. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, pour that in, give it a stir, turn your oven on high, your stove on high, excuse me. And what you're going to want to do, keep stirring and stirring here, is let that incorporate the water along in with the sugar and the cocoa. So it almost looks like I'm making brownies, right? All I'd have to do is add the flour and the vanilla and I'd be just about done, right? Almost. We got half the ingredients in. I'm stirring, 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 stirring. There you go. That's pretty nicely mixed. And it's pretty thin at this point. So I'm just going to sit here, taking my time here. We're going to hit it up with a measure with love, right? When it comes to vanilla, about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half. You could go a little more if you're a real vanilla lover. I'm just going to guesstimate. That looks pretty good. Give it a stir. Now the thing is, with making chocolate syrup, it's a lot easier than making, say, butterscotch topping for ice cream. That's a little more difficult. You can take that too far and actually ruin the dish. But with making, there we go, now it's starting to come together. While heating this up to just a boiling, we're going to let it go for about 30 seconds boiling, okay? And then it's almost done. And then we're just going to take it off the heat and let it set until it cools. So, you know, let that set, say, 30 minutes, and then go ahead and bottle her up, and you're good to go. I think I'm almost to a, yeah, I'm almost to a boil. This easy, I know, isn't it crazy? Now, what do you keep it in? What do you do with it after it cools down and it's ready to be? I'm going to set my timer here for a minute, just so I don't get to talking and forgetting what I'm doing here. Ooh, it's coming along nicely. Where do I want it? Where do you want to keep it? Now, you don't have to stir this all the time. I'm just being a little bit crazy and stirring it too much here. I like to save my olive jars. Here is an already made bottle here. I saved my last olive jar for this batch. I'm keeping an eye on my chocolate here. For this very batch, this is a perfect thing to keep it in, right? If you don't have one of these, you could probably keep it in a bowl, but that wouldn't be the easiest for pouring. There we go. Now we're getting to where I need it to be here. And we'll just let that sit. Don't worry, it won't burn. We got 17 more seconds. Then this will be good to go, and I'll take it off the heat. Once you take it off the heat, you let it cool down, and then you put it in this. It changes thickness totally. I'll show you. Whoop. There we go. That is ready. Beat the timer. It will look like this. Coming out slow as molasses. Ooh, doesn't that look good? Chocolate topping. Nice and sweet and thick. That's the consistency that you'll have once you cool it off and you put it into the fridge. I just took this out of the fridge like 15 minutes ago, so it's even a little bit thicker than it would be if it would be at room temperature. So keep the jar just to put it in, and then what I do at Christmas time or for people's birthday celebrations, I feel like I've got chocolate around my mouth, is I take some jute. Jute, of course, is that fancy, it looks like natural string, you know, it looks like hay, if you will, and I make a real pretty bow, and then I make a tiny little card using sculpting scissors and a ribbon and put the person's name on it, and everybody loves to get this. You could also store it in, come to think of it, you could also store it in something like this. If you have a container like this, this would be perfect for that if you don't happen to have an olive jar. I already know who's getting this chocolate sauce, and if they're really nice, they're going to get this chocolate sauce for their birthday, I think. I'm going to let that cool. I'm going to bottle it up. But go ahead, give this chocolate sauce a try. You're going to love it. You're going to never want to buy this pre-made garbage ever again. In fact, you can throw it away. Make it, put it on your ice cream this summer or any time of year and enjoy it. My friend BM likes to put it in his milk and make chocolate milk with it. And it's pretty, I guess it's pretty good that way too. So have a great day. Have an excellent evening if you're watching this in the evening. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.